Hello, I'm Uma Arora from Tutors.com, and in today's video we are going to learn about tissues. So the main subtopics which we are going to cover in this video are tissues and plant tissues. So here are few pre-assessment questions for you. You can pause the video here, and once you are done with all the given questions, you can resume the video to check your answers. So pat your back if all of your answers are correct, and now let's move forward and let's have a quick discussion about tissues. So, a group of cells that are specialized to perform a particular function forms a tissue. If we talk about unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all the basic functions, but in case of multicellular organisms, cells are grouped to form tissue, and then these tissues are specialized to carry out a particular function. Well, you can divide tissue into two categories: plant tissue and animal tissue. So in this video we'll focus on plant tissue. Well, we can say that a plant tissue has cell wall, chloroplast, fixed shape and vacuoles, whereas if we talk about the animal tissue, it doesn't have any of these. Let's move forward and let's talk about plant tissue in detail. So plant tissues are of two types on the basis of their dividing capacity. The first one is meristematic and the second one is permanent. So first let's talk about meristematic tissues. So these tissues gives growth to various organs of the plant. The cells of this tissue are metabolically highly active, and so the stored food is absent, and the cells are compactly arranged because they do not have intercellular spaces. So meristematic tissues are divided into three categories: apical, lateral and intercalary. Let's talk about apical first. So it is present at the growing tips of stems and roots. They are responsible for increase in the length of plant organs. Let's talk about lateral now. So it lies on the lateral sides of stem and root, or occurs along the sides of longitudinal axis of the plant. It helps in increasing the diameter, or basically giving width to a plant. Let's talk about the third one, which is intercalary. Well, it is the part of apical meristem which is left behind during the growth period. They are short-lived and converted into permanent tissues. Let's move forward and let's talk about permanent tissues. Well, if we talk about permanent tissue, they are formed by division and differentiation of meristematic tissue. They are composed of those cells which have lost the power of division and attain a permanent shape, size and function. You can divide that into two categories: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Let's talk about simple permanent tissues first. So the first one is parenchyma. So it is a living and basing packing tissue which consists of relatively unspecialized cells, and cells of these tissues have thin cell wall which is made up of cellulose. The next one is collenchyma. So cells of this tissue are living and they vary in structure. Cells of this tissue are irregularly thickened at the corners due to the decomposition of pectin. If we talk about intercellular space, that is very little or absent between the cells of this tissue. Let's move forward. The next one is sclerenchyma. Well, the cells of this tissue are dead and they are devoid to protoplasm. And the next one is protective tissues. So these tissues are usually present in the outermost layer of the plant body, such as leaves, stems and roots, and it protects the underlying tissues present in the plant body. Let's move forward and now let's talk about the two types of protective tissues, which is epidermis and crop. So epidermis is the outermost layer of all organs of the plant body, which is formed from parenchymal cells. It protects the internal tissue from mechanical injuries and entry of germs. The next one is crop. Well, this is the peripheral tissue of old stems and roots of woody trees, and It is formed due to activity of cork or phalangon. Now let's move forward and let's talk about complex permanent tissue. Well, if we talk about phloem, it transports prepared food materials from the leaves to the storage organs and later from storage organs to the growing regions of the plant body. It is composed of four types of cells: sieve cells, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fiber. Now let's talk about xylem. So it is the tissue that transports water and nutrients from the root to upper parts of plants. It is composed of four types of cell: vessel, trichets, parenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And on the next slide, few questions are there for you to practice, so you can pause the video here and you can try the given questions. And once you're done with all the given questions, you can resume the video to check your answers. Congratulations if all of your answers are correct, and thank you for watching this video. For more, please visit justtutors.com.